Why did I have to read 2 books in a row that completely destroyed me? Daddy Niktos is back, but this book killed me. Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today we are going to talk about book 2 in the Flesh and Fire? I think it's Flesh and Fire. I don't know. Her series descriptions always screw me up. But we're talking about book 2 in the Niktos series, and that is A Light in the Flame by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh, this book, you guys. Oh my God, this book. I have put off recording this video because I just had to sit with what this book was. There were a lot of feelings in this book, a lot of feelings. And I just needed that to settle before I could even try to tell you my thoughts on it. Even then, I still feel like I'm going to get through this video and stop recording, and then I'm going to remember a million things that I wanted to say. So bear with me. It's going to be rough. I have spoken to a couple of you who have already finished this book too, so you know how rough this is going to be. Tiny little synopsis without trying to give spoilers in the synopsis. This book is a continuation of Sarah and Niktos' story, pretty much straight up where the last one left off. And it is about their kind of journey to fulfill Sarah's duty of killing the primal of death and the things that happen along the way. I'm trying to keep that spoiler free because this is still going to be a spoiler free video to a certain point. But yeah, that's generally what the synopsis of the book is about. I had to give this book 5 stars because of how it made me feel. I love this series so much more than the From Blood and Ash series. It is, to me, so much better. And I thought this book was just as good as the first one, just as good. So that one had to be 5 stars for me. This one is also 5 stars for me. And I will say, I think this series is better than her other series. And if they weren't so interconnected, I would debatably stop reading that series because this one is just so much better. Spice rating is a 3 chili peppers on my scale. There is a lot of spice in this book, but because the book is so big and there's so much other stuff that happens, it kind of evens out. I didn't think it deserved a 4 or a 5 at all. There is a lot more than the first one. It's definitely not that slow burn that it was in the last book. So quite a bit of spice, but not enough to be only about that. There's still a ton of plot in this book, but romance is a big part of it. If you just need me to tell you whether or not you should read book 2 because you read book 1, yes, you should. You should. Everyone who has read book 1 should read this book. I think you will enjoy it if you read the first one and enjoyed it. If you stumbled upon this review and you're trying to figure out if you should read the series because you want to know if the second book held up after the first one, yes, you should. You should read the series. Please go do that. So now that I'm done trying to convince you, from this point forward will be spoilers. I'm going to talk about specific things that happened in the book. So if you have not read the book yet and you do not want to know what happens, please just pause. Set the little video to continue later. There's a little setting that you can do that. Subscribe, make sure you can come back to me and watch it later because trust me, you do not want this to be spoiled. Oh, the amount of what the fuck moments that I had in this book with both Niktos and Sarah. They both made me so angry, but then also killed my emotions at the same time. Sometimes I don't even know how to put into words how I was feeling in this book. I didn't cry, but I felt so many emotions that my hands were going numb at some points. There's a specific scene where I felt that. And I was actually live texting one of my friends in my group chat I did it individually for her because the other girl that's in our Daddy Niktos fan club, she hadn't started it yet. And so we weren't going to spoil it for her. So we were kind of live texting off on the side. I was not very far in the book. And then all of a sudden she sends me this GIF. Now I know it's not moving on here, but it's like the scene from New Girl where Jess is just like sobbing. And so I sent her messages back and I was like, I can't look at the book right now because I do not need those tears in my life. And I was like, okay, like, is she exaggerating? And then I got to the points and I was just like, nope, she's definitely not exaggerating. Can I just say, I hate Vessies. I hate her. I hate her so much. So when it got to the scene with Niktos and Vessies, right after Sarah had just told him that she was basically catching feelings, that she wanted to be his consort, not in name only, like this whole thing. And Niktos is like, yes, this is great. Talk to you when we get back. And then she gets back and he's with Vessies. Like, oh my God, I would have brought the mountain down too. Like that scene where she just was so emotional. That's where I started losing feeling in my fingertips. I could not handle it at all. I was so upset. And I was legitimately messaging my friend. I was like, he better have like had something happen to him because he couldn't have consciously made that decision. She like didn't say anything and didn't, justify his behavior or anything. And I was just like, he had to have been drugged or tricked or coerced or something. Like there had to be some reason. We also think that Colis is a little bitch. Like he's a little bitch and I hate him. There was just too much. There was too much backstabbing and too many secrets and too many things that happened in this book. I really do enjoy that it kind of just picked up right where I left off. I enjoy that the plot kind of kept going throughout the whole thing. I do think that I am not a super fan of Jennifer's world building explanation tactic of question and answer. I personally get very confused about that, but the plot of this book had me hurting. And because of all of the things that happened in the plot, like, so freaking good. Now, I was pissed off at both Niktos and Sarah for making this deal for their relationship to be, for pleasure only, because I was like, both of you guys are going to freaking catch feelings. Like you're going to catch feelings. And Niktos, I do not believe that you had your little cardia removed, because we all know from reading the first series that heartmates is a thing. And I think that they are heartmates. So whether or not he had his cardia removed, like she is his other half of his heart. So I think that it's all bullshit and he has feelings for her. So then to like have this thing happen with Vessies and like have this stuff happen at the end with Colis, it killed me. It killed me so badly. Okay, going back to talk about Colis for a second. One of the things that I said to my friend was that I feel like Colis is still the primal of death deep down. Like if you go, when we went to his court, right, there's literally death everywhere. I think that it is very apparent that he is not the primal of life because he just kills everything. I know that like doesn't do anything for the plot, but it was just like, just picture and caricature or character development that like needs to be fixed, obviously. But then when Sarah actually finds out that the thing that happened between Niktos and Vessies was because of the deal that he made with her. But then to go to the end and find out that none of that mattered, that Colis knew the entire time because of her dad contacting the primal of life again later when she was born to try to fix the deal. Like literally everything that Niktos had sacrificed, everything that she had sacrificed, it was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. All these freaking emotions were for nothing. And it made me so mad. And we just need to beat Colis. Like we just need to, I don't even know how it's going to happen. Like I don't even know what's going to happen. But when we found out how the embers could be transferred, and we found out that Niktos knew the whole time, and that he just was looking for a different way, my heart shattered. Like it's shattered. It just goes to prove that like he has feelings, even though he wants to think that he doesn't. I sent her this GIF because I was like, I literally can't look at this book anymore. And it was the scene when they came back and she was like, at least do it by my lake so that I can like be there and be happy and it's with you. And I've accepted that death is my fate. And I lost it. I texted her. I was like, now I know why you stopped with only 2 chapters left. Because she stopped at the same point that I was like, oh, I need a breather. It was so bad. Then there's this text chain. This one. What the actual fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? Addis is a fucking traitor. And now, all of a sudden, we know who Callum is, the Revenant from the freaking other series that we have been trying to figure out who he is. I don't know. Somewhere deep down inside, I do not believe that Addis is a complete traitor. I think that he knows how to kill Callum and he is how to kill the Revenants, right? Because that's the big problem in the other series is like, we don't know how to kill them. And so I think Nyktos is going to find out, and that is like, they're going to connect. The series are going to connect because we saw Daddy in the other video or in the other book too. He met Poppy and all of them. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. It's just the emotions on this book were very, very high. I literally ended the book like this. Like this was what I looked like. And that's why I think this review has been kind of just all over the place because I don't even know what to say. It's not even a review. It's just me freaking ranting about this book. Like, if you have theories or you have other like things that you thought of, like, please tell me because I've been thinking about this for over a week. I finished this book a week ago and I didn't know how to put my thoughts into like coherent sentences. So if this has seemed like it's just been like lunatic ravings, it's because it is. Like, that's how I feel, how this book has made me feel. And I couldn't really just like bring it all about. Honestly, books like this, books like Zodiac 7, not 8, we haven't read 8 yet, but books like Zodiac 7, books like this is why I read. I read because while this sucks, like feeling all these emotions truly sucks, I read to feel like this. Like I want to obsess about things like this. I want to be completely enthralled in these other worlds and what happens to these characters. And when I find authors that can do that to me, like, oh, like good for you. Good for you. Like that's the goal. This is why I read. And so I know that this series and her other series are not for everyone, and that's okay. But at least this one, oh, it's probably one of my favorites. I think it's so well done. We could use a little bit less question and answer, but whatever, it's fine. I'll deal with it because all the rest is so amazing. I love the side characters. I love Jadis. I love Ballet. I don't know how you say it. I love Rain. I love Nektas, Reaver, all of them, all of the Draken. Like everyone is so good. They're just so good. And I just love them so much. And this series, I don't mind that they're this long because we get a lot of time and we get a lot of emotion and we get a lot of bang for our buck. I hope you love this book as much as I did. I really am curious to know what people thought. I haven't seen a lot of people who have finished the book. So if you have, let me know your thoughts. Send me a DM, comment down below, whatever, so we can chat about it. I don't know if anybody else saw, but it has been announced there will only be one more book in this series, which is devastating because I really love Nyktos and Sarah. It makes me happy because it makes me feel like she actually thought through a completed series and it isn't just like added on and added on and added on, which is great. And that's always what I ask for. But oh, it's so sad to think that we only get one more and it's not going to be for an entire another year. So we will all be back this time next year. hopefully not getting totally destroyed by Niktos and Sarah again. Thanks for chatting about A Light in the Flame today. Don't forget, you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Fun Size Reader. See you guys next time.